All right, welcome back to the tiebreaker game of GPZ. We have Scribbl versus alittleblank. So yeah, please introduce the decks.
Right then. Scribble's playing a Jund deck, which is called Dry Snapcaster. This deck's main win condition is Jerrold. Its backup win conditions are Valeri and Urbeck, and it can also tutor them up using Tally's Council. In general, game plan is to use creatures to get free spells from Grave and to pay those off using various things like Valeri Kripak. Now, for a little blank is running an enchantment cheat deck. Your main victory condition here is to cheat out enchantments like Rule the World and Polytheism using Seek the Maker's Egg. You can make this more consistent by using Steward of Empire's Cradle to, for example, put your targets to top to then mill them, to then cheat them. And the deck can also use Legend Weaving in case of emergency to get its win conditions.
All right, yeah. So I guess we'll just see what the cards do as players draw them because I'm too lazy to do post editing to put the cards on screen. Yeah, so here's Seek the Maker's Egg, which is alittleblank's big cheat spell. It's a quest where on its third trigger you get to reanimate an enchantment. And Scribble.
Since Quest also, since this does rely on graveyards, and this deck does rely a bit of on milling in order to cheat, it has a number of study cards. One of them is Jerrold Planar Academy, which is in hand. That's why earlier they were discussing the extra library rules,
Right.
as well as Kami's Sanctum. Scribble, by the way, is starting with a Valerian hand and a Bloodjade Prophet, which are going to be the major things to start off with here. Though in
Uh,
hand, I
yeah, no
You
early game.
you can cast Bloodjade Prophet, thankfully, in this hand, because you have Basic Swamp, Nebula, and Mirrorgate. But
Mirror Gate, which I missed because it has a champion frame.
yeah.
Whoops.
Um but yeah, Scribble is functionally not doing anything until turn 3, which is a little bit scary versus this other deck. But I don't know if Scribble's deck has hands that are substantially more proactive, so
Don't they have
maybe
discard spells? They
probably
don't. Well, no, they have Prying Council.
Scribble
One
has four
Prying
copies of
Inquiry.
Fine Inquiry.
for Valdez.
Okay, you definitely mulligan looking for those. I don't think you can afford to
Yeah,
keep
no, I
this
think you're
slow of a
right.
hand.
Yeah.
Scribble Mulligans.
Hey, there's
Okay.
Has
Valdez.
Marus, a
That's
Bloodjade Prophet, a Jerrold, and a Valdez.
double
I
Valdez.
guess Scribble would. Oh, actually, Scribble would have to keep the Enopraxias because Enopraxias can exile
I
the
think you're
target.
pitching. I think you pitched Jerrold here, even
Yeah, I don't think. Well, no,
because
you
I
can
think
curve Venom into Gerald's if you get the right hand.
yeah, has chosen to put back Anapraxias. Just probably either forgot that line or just doesn't think it's as important as the rest of the hand.
Low blank
All
plays
right,
land and
so this
pass.
is going to be Valdez low, I believe.
Yeah, definitely low. Your opponent has discard
Oh,
stuff.
why wouldn't you turn one Maru's Horde into to set up the turn two Gerald?
Oh, yeah, you can do that too.
It does mean you're a lot softer to them just resolving a Seek the Maker's Egg on their turn 3. So we'll see if Scribble goes for the more conservative line or not.
Well,
Yep.
they're just gonna snag the Calming Sanctum.
This is a this is a combo deck. I don't think playing beat down against combo is necessarily the right thing to do.
Yeah, if they don't have the Seek the Maker's Egg in hand, if they had to do setup, I think it's reasonable, but
Okay, there goes Sanctum.
yeah.
And because there's another Valdez in hand, this is potentially a hit on Maker's Egg.
Yeah.
It's definitely
Okay,
going to be a hit.
if Scribble pinches low again, that's Seek gone.
So Lil Blank probably plays the lid right now because they have nothing better to do.
You shouldn't play Zealot because you want to save that for the Seek the Maker's Egg ETB.
Oh, right, right. But I mean, it also lets you scry technically, and you have nothing else to do with your mana right now.
Hey, Urbeck, we have another finisher in hand and some interaction.
So you can curve Valdez, Maru's Horde, and then you get Jerrold next turn. I think.
Okay, here we go. This is pinch low, and that's Seek the Maker's Egg gone.
Oof.
And then I agree, you're going to Maru's Horde, you're going to set up for a. Honestly, there's an argument for instead of Gerald just doing the slamming a Bloodjade Prophet
Yeah, that's
on.
probably better.
I would do Bloodjade Prophet first because it gives Jerrold more targets.
It also draws
Yeah.
3 cards. I mean, you can't play
Yeah,
all 3 cards.
a little blank
So,
can't really touch your life totals.
small comment there. I think Scribble held up deciding whether or not to bring in the Shock Land untapped or tapped was due to seeing if. I think Scribble wanted to see if a little blank had drawn any lower cost cards and to see if Valdez would actually hit the Seek.
Right.
Well, what's the reason that Scribble wouldn't have wanted to fetch there?
Well, I mean, maybe you want to save life because you have Bloodjade Prophet too, right? So if your opponent has
Scribble's deck.
a reanimation thing, then maybe the life could matter. It probably doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
Maybe Scribble wanted to bluff a Void Flare in case of a Steward, but
No,
that wouldn't
that's
even matter if
Scribble's.
a
I
Steward
think
had been drawn.
Scribble
Even if
was
Steward being
just
drawn,
no, Scribble was just thinking of whether they want to fetch a basic or not. Like if they want to lose more life than usual.
I see. Okay, so this is going to be Steward. Steward is
That's
going to search to top another Seek, I believe.
and you can't discard
Yep.
this because it's on top.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary.
However, we have Urbeck, and Urbeck kills it.
Yep, Urbeck, good point.
But not before getting some value off of it. I mean, you get to mill twice. That's something, right?
Is it twice?
No, you get to gain 3
yeah,
life
you
twice.
Yeah.
Hey, 3
And I
mana gain 6
suppose-
life. I mean, that's almost. I'm pretty sure that's a card. Like that's an actual card in
Wait,
canon.
okay, so Steward is not currently online. Never mind.
What do you mean by online? You mean the civilized?
Okay,
Yeah,
in comes
civilized.
Bloodjade Prophet to get Jerrold more targets. And this is fine because Urbeck's a sorcery speed on a size up anyway.
I think you pick up everything. You want the land. You want the Tally's Council. You want the Solar Flare. You can afford to go down to 7.
I'm not sure the Tally's Council is needed.
I mean, there's no reason not to get it, right? It's free cards.
Free in a certain sense of the word. I guess against this deck is free.
Yep, you take all of them. So, I mean, yeah, this is what? So, if a little blank flips something nice off the archive, then they get a better draw next turn.
Pretty straightforwardly, this is just Seek the Maker's Egg into Jellid for
Yeah.
the trigger.
But, like, for
I don't
next
think
turn,
there's
if they
anything a little blank can do
yeah.
at all.
didn't Seek the Maker's Egg used to mill on its first 2 triggers or something,
That sounds vaguely familiar, but
but that's at least a year ago, I feel like. So, yeah, my memory is bad.
Mana cost has
At
been
that point.
reduced to 1 GW from 2 GW. Its modes are now 1-2. Yeah, it used to. And it used to cost more.
it was part of the quest rework, I think, right?
Yeah, the quest escapade consolidation, right?
Yeah, that sounds likely correct.
So Zelda, well, at least you got some cards I don't want to draw off the top of the deck, so you don't have to draw off the archive.
And this is pretty straightforwardly just an Earbeck size up
Yeah.
into holding up a Solar Flare, I believe.
Oh yeah, you have enough mana to do that.
In
Yeah,
fact,
you
you could just Solar Flare right now and swing with Bloodjade Prophet to start the clock.
Yeah, I think that's a good line.
Yeah, and then now a little blank needs to top deck. What can they top deck?
More Seek the Maker's Eggs.
Seek the Maker's Egg is too slow right now. They have nothing to trigger it.
Right. Seek the Maker's Egg into things to trigger it is the best series of draws for them.
That takes at least 2
Yes.
draws. Is there
Or
a single
little
draw
blank.
that gets them back in the game?
Honestly,
Sorry, you go ahead.
honestly, I think a little blank is just out of gas.
So I
There
would
are not enough turns of life
I would
before
posit
Bloodjade
that
Prophet kills them.
wheat from chaff, ditching these 2 rule of worlds into picking up another copy of Seek the Maker's Egg and then something that makes an artifact or enchantment.
Or I mean Chiara. Actually, yeah.
Because like
Wheat from Chaff into Chiara would get there because they can get back a rule of the world.
Though Chiara would just die.
Yeah, but you get back a rule of the world.
yeah, I recognize that a 4/2 right now pressures Little Blank's life total, but 1/1s don't. Also, Scribble only has non-basics. So if a rule of the world comes down, Scribble can't cast spells for many turns.
Ah, I forgot that rule of the world is also non-basic land hate.
Yeah, Rule of the World is very much meant to be a 7-mana enchantment that kind of just wins you the game. If you're cheating it out for 3 mana, it's pretty damn good.
So Scribble, but they just, I guess they were thinking about what to fetch.
Yeah, how to sequence this.
Solar Flare killed it, Steward. At least got some use out of a removal spell in this matchup.
Yeah.
Okay, and now comes the size up. So this was the line that I had commented earlier.
But Scribble at least took their time to think through the lines before deciding on the obvious line.
And then we also now have a stack of adventures. I also think the line was a little bit less obvious because there's a Tally's Council in hand, so functionally Scribble has their entire deck to choose from.
Right, and we just didn't consider it at all.
Tally's Council, however, puts you down on 1, and you need all 5 mana in order to eliminate both the potential threats.
They decided to take Calming Sanctum off the top.
They're just hunting for cards.
This doesn't cantrip though. Oh wait, it lets you exchange a card immediately.
Yeah, so you can pick up a Legend Weaving, which is of limited use right now, but you still have like 3-ish turns, let's say, until you're dead to Bloodjade Beat. plus a little bit of burn, like technically,
Jerrold.
but yeah, Jerrold and burn hastens that. So I think expecting to get around 3 turns is pretty reasonable.
I feel like you should at least like exchange one of the lands for the rule of the world so you can get a land drop this turn. Because I think land drops might matter. Like you might want to start hard casting stuff eventually.
Yep, that seems smart.
And you have nothing else to do with your mana anyways.
Yeah, especially because you could turn it into a Hardly Blade. But you do need one of the Rule the Worlds in hand, so you can discard it to try to get a kill off with Maker's Egg.
Well, you only need one.
Yeah, but you need to exchange the other one for the Legend Weaving.
Right. Wait, are you Legend Weaving out to seek the Maker's Egg? Okay, what are you getting with Legend Weaving?
You need to get something. Looking at the deck, yeah, probably. Eesh. Okay, this deck's in a lot more dire of a spot than I thought it was.
Wait, what's
Yeah, I looked through it
Weaving?
earlier. When I said I was out of gas, I said it was out of gas. I meant it. You need like at least 4 draws before you can do anything now.
I mean, you
just
still have to bail out of Looting Spell into Chiara, but yeah, the fact that this deck doesn't have a fair backup plan to like get off this Legend Weaving, definitely a bit awkward.
Well, and now they're doing exchange.
Now's the swap.
Does it have to be in the same spot as? Wait, what? But does it
Um,
have to be in the same spot in the
Reordering the
deck?
whole thing.
Yes, it is because it's exchanging.
God, that's horrible on Cockatrice.
Um,
Oh, that's Chara off the top.
Now, if Chiara is in,
Oh, do we need to do a judge call?
I'm a judge. I'll deal with it.
Having the judge in the commentary booth. That's funny. Does it ever happen in canon magic?
Generally not. Different skill sets.
I guess I can imagine like some sort of a small LGS game where they're also doing commentary and somehow the judge is also, I mean, the head judge is also the tournament organizer who's also doing the commentary.
It is entirely a possible thing that could happen.
okay, so Chiara needs at least 2 turns in order to actually save a little blank.
I think.
Yeah.
So what? You Legend Weeping out, seek the Maker's Egg just to stall.
Seek the Maker's Egg is the only target that Chiara has right now.
Honestly, the life gain on Seek the Maker's Egg feels like that's gonna actually be relevant, which is very funny.
What does Sift through false leads do?
Nothing.
Okay. When it enters battlefield, exile the top 5 cards of your library and then investigate. Is that the only thing they can get with Legend Weaving other than Seek the Maker's Egg?
Yes, that's what made me go, oh, I did not realize this deck didn't have a fair plan. I mean, can it get Zealed?
It can, I think.
It can't. X can't be 0.
Ah.
Wait, because that text is there because the Mouse Gods used to not have a casting cost, which means that there was a bunch of like weird abuse cases that
Wait, what? Then how do they function?
you had to like discard a copy and then it put itself into play somehow. I
Is it
don't
an activated
remember.
ability?
Yeah, some weird thing like that.
Don't forget morphs.
Yeah,
But they don't have more.
so I think you're right. I think it was no, because I don't think it was more. I don't remember what it was. I'm sorry. This is too long ago for me to recall.
I don't think it's even in stat decks because it's too long ago, right? Like it's not even
Correct.
in the change logs.
I feel like it would be in the changelog, but I don't know.
I should check. What's the Midas Gods called again? I guess
I think it's for Myos Gods. It'll show up.
Wow, MSEM has lots of gods for some reason. It's 40 gods cards, which is actually which is almost as much as canon, right? Or even more than canon.
I've lost track of Can Gods. We had 15 in Theros, 5 more in Cut? Yeah, 6 more in Amon Cut even. And then we also returned to Theros and got like another 6. Plus we had another 5 during War. We have a couple more in this set. We had some more in the last set.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, Legend Weaving is an instant. You don't need to take game actions yet.
Oh yeah, good point. Also, oh yeah, the Midas Gods don't even have the god creature type because they're enchantments. That's why it wasn't showing up in my search.
Oh, actually, no, it's really smart to not cast Legend Weaving, because I just realized that all of Scribbl's ways of interacting with Seek the Maker's Eggs, aren't they all sorceries?
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
They're
that's
all
why you run Legend Weaving. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what's going to get you past the first trigger on Seek?
Yara.
Hoping and praying.
We just Legend Weaving and then Chiara minus on the Zealot, get back another Seek.
So the thing is, Chiara sacrifices at the same time that she chooses the target.
Yeah, Zealot. You can sacrifice the Zealot.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, it's an enchantment, right?
Right, so you can.
Like, or you can get back what?
What's up?
What? So
I think the best draw after the Legend of Weaving is actually just drawing a Wheat from Chaff because it creates an artifact token and
right.
it gives you the ability to dump one of the Rule the Worlds via swapping card in your hand for that.
Or if Scribble plays a discard spell, a little blank can in response get to rule of the worlds.
Also true. That's sick.
Come on, Scribble, misplay by playing a discard spell. I think this
I
turn's
think
going to
this
take a
is.
while because Scribble's looking at the Tallies Council and now they're opening their deck list and looking at all the cards that they have.
I think Scribble's just going through. Okay, in the event that I get top decked, how do I deal with a potential successful cheat plan?
Scribble actually is very close to lethal here.
Actually, Endopractice Endeavor. Yeah, you just get you Tallies Council for Endopractice Endeavor and you hold it up and your opponent can't win.
Yeah, and also the Tally's Council casts Jerrold, who flashes back a Solar Flare, so your opponent's at 3 life, and they basically can't tap 2 of their lands anymore.
Oh yeah, right.
I guess they can still tap them because they're going to be dead on the untap anyway. So
We're getting
yeah.
so close to actual lethal that even if Rule of the World were to come down now, it might not even matter.
Honestly, Urbeck might be meant to -1 now because then you can't hold a mana. That was a lie.
By the
No,
point that Rule of the World is down, is too late to Urbeck size up.
you can right now cast Tally's Council, get that in Apraxis, hold that up, and then use the mana floating from that to Urbeck size up, blow up the Calming Sanctuary.
Would
Because
help.
then your opponent has these like Rule the World stuck. They
Well, you
need
can
to
still draw
manually
them. You just
this.
can't swap them into a discard anymore.
Right, but then you still have to manually have draws left for them. You can't have
Yeah. In a case where our opponent might be dead next turn.
yeah.
Okay, let's see if Scribble finds the Endopractice Endeavor line.
Incoming tallies.
Yep. Oh, okay, never mind. They didn't find the line.
We're just hard casting Valdez.
But it not might. Well, Scribble won't get punished for this if Little Blank doesn't draw well, or like even draws averagely. Little Blank needs a really good draw in order to get out of this. So Scribble most likely won't get punished for this play, but they might, and that'd be hilarious.
Commentator's curse.
Come on.
So you remember 2 GPs ago when there was a top decked Defiance, Solver's Defiance?
Right. I remember in the finals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Legend Weaving for Seek the Maker's Egg.
And see if Scribble had gotten the extra bolt off the Jerrold, the shifting glade and the resplendent substratum would be functionally turned off.
No, Seek the Maker that gains in 3 life, so it
Oh, that's
reactivates.
you're right. 6 of one, half a dozen the other.
So yeah, it's just up to top decks now. Come on, Little Blank, get top deck Read from Chaff so that Scribble gets punished.
Ricky always roots for the top deckers.
I know that's why I play decks the top deck well. Is Little Blank thinking about the archives now?
Yeah.
That has to be incorrect, right? There's no good outcome if you take one of the archive cards.
I don't see how that would help you, certainly.
And darn.
That is game.
4, 5.
Actually, no. Maybe they gain enough life off the Seek the Maker's eggs.
Because they can sacrifice a Zealot, recur a Seek, gain another 6 life.
Yeah.
That puts them up to 13, and there is still going to be lethal.
Valdez will be 4 because of playing Chiara. There will be then 6 from the Crocodiles, and then 4 from the Bloodjay Prophet. It's lethal anyway.
Yeah, plus 1 life has to be paid to cast it in the first place.
That's unfortunate.
I think was considering using Zealot to scry in the
right. That'd be correct. Like
I don't know. I
think they had enough mana left, even if they scried, right? They wouldn't have enough mana.
Hell, even without the board state being this good, there's still Tally's Council and to burn.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Jerrold, like it is a very slow game over from this point, but I am pretty confident that it is a game over.
Yeah, the archive cards are also are always really finicky to play on Cockatrice, especially when the archive goes to the graveyard. Then you have to like make a separate pile and make sure that everything's still in the same order. Anyways, Little Blank to 12 and they're going to die.
Yep, on board even.
Are they going to concede now, or are they going to let the opponent have it?
Make them remember that the attack step exists. Yep. The old motto, hope they skip through combat.
Hope that they attacked it Planeswalker instead because they miscounted.
Yeah, I think once your opponent is increasing Valdez's power, that plan's a little bit out the window.
Maybe a Little Blank's bluffing. No.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, let's look at sideboards. Yeah. So let's look at Scribbl's deck first because it's there's more one-ups in the sideboard.
We're gonna probably see the duress come in. I would be looking to bring it. I mean,
The-
Shikai's Redoubt seems like a reasonable card. The Past is Gone is pretty good. So 1, 2, 3-ish.
Yeah.
Your main deck is pretty good. I would cut like the Void Flares, the Enter Mephisto's Gate probably, but
We might want to blow up or is there anything you can blow up with Enter
you probably
Mephisto?
want to, yeah. Your opponent. I don't know if your opponent's going to board into Void Bringer. I assume we're going to see a like sideboarded Cutting Suns and maybe Spell Pierces, but I don't know what
Almost certainly Spell Pierces.
and Bringer or Void Bringer.
Maybe
Yeah,
Sealed
I don't know
Driftway. Like
the
your
match.
opponent does have graveyard stuff,
Yeah, but you can't try to like stall the game out.
right?
You will lose.
So Spell Pierces in this case are specifically not to stall, is to keep your plan from getting blown up out of your hand
Yeah,
or off the field.
Yeah, I mean, Spell Piercing of Valdez is decent, so there's that.
and Prying Inquiry. Like there's a lot of cards that you want to Spell Pierce and that you don't have good answers to other than just either spell piercing them or drawing better.
Right, yeah.
This is almost certainly not a Voidbringer game.
What's the combo with Voidbringer here?
Bring it in against Grave Fate. The combo is with Rule the World because your opponent can't do anything, I think.
So wait, the plan is to just manually draw out a Voidbringer?
No, I
be it.
think maybe no. Seek the Maker's Egg
Voidbringer is an
loops, right?
enchantment.
Can you loop it? I thought it exiles.
Oh, maybe it's from before it got the exile nerf. Because I'm pretty sure it didn't use the exile.
Yes. I think this is just a relic of when two Seek the Maker's Eggs could deck you and then recur a Voidbringer.
All
I
right.
see. So I guess ran out of time in this case means I just took an old list.
Yeah,
So the Scribble did board in The Past is Gone.
which seems like a good call because if you name Maker's Egg, your opponent's game plan gets substantially worse. Like they can still do Chiara stuff, but yeah.
They also
And it's a corpse bed.
did not board out
Wait,
Void Flare.
alternatively, if you literally just name Polytheism, the only way they can win is via Steward of Empire's Cradle Beats.
Really? Huh? That's no or decking.
Yeah, they're gonna deck before you.
This is why you play the
Oh wait,
Sanctum.
no, you're right. They have double Legend Weaving. Okay, technically speaking, they can infinitely just keep looping Legend Weaving, but I think there's an argument for just hit Polytheism. I don't think that's the line that Scribble's going to take, but I think there's an argument that it's a good one.
So Scribble did not board out Void Flare, which is interesting.
Yeah, I assume boarded out the Solar Flares instead of the Void Flares, which is entirely fine.
Yeah, I want.
I'd be shocked if Scribble kept both. But
Oh, and gets rid of this through the Ashen Gate. So yeah, these guys are the small cards are protecting Seek the Maker's Egg from Valdez.
Of course, Prying Inquiry is next turn.
But that's gonna be answered by a Spell Pierce. I think alittleblank's going to resolve Seek the Maker's Egg.
And I'm just going to double check something here. Past is gone, past is gone. Okay, so you past is gone the targets in this case.
yeah,
Yeah. We might actually get a game here. Alittleblank answers the Prying Inquiry with the Spell Pierce. They fetch first, but then they answer the Prying Inquiry with the Spell Pierce. Let's hope they don't accidentally mana screw themselves because they need white and green and blue. I guess Mysterious Counteracting white source next turn. Alittleblank is going to lose a lot of life off their lands, though. They're not fetching basics as aggressively as I did them to.
Sanctum.
Like I definitely would have fetched an island there just to not lose as much life. But maybe I'm like being way too conservative. Like how do you guys fetch when you're playing with these sorts of decks? Do you aggressively fetch your basics so that you don't lose as much life?
I don't play combo.
I think with this sort of hand, you're kind of priced into having to fetch these this way because you need to be able to cast Seek the Maker's Egg. And
you can still cast it if you like fetch island and then fetch
yeah, you would still have green white. Yeah, you could be losing marginally less life if you fetched that way, and that would be better. I agree with you.
And it does matter because Scribble has burn spells in hand.
I mean, Scribble in general is gonna try to beat you to death. So
yeah, Alittleblank's thinking about whether to run out Seek the Maker's Egg right now.
I guess the punish that exists is like Urbeck.
Yeah,
but not casting it. The punish is the pass is gone. So I think you are just meant to jam.
Seek the Maker's Egg undoing the amount of life that was lost to cast it.
Value.
Yeah, see, you pay 0 life to cast Seek the Maker's Egg.
So this is past is gone, right?
Yep.
right?
Nope, it's Prying Inquiry. But no,
No!
it's fine. Prying Inquiry snags the Calming Sanctum, and then Seek the Maker's
Yeah, it's
Egg.
just that could have been really bad.
Yeah, they're
Like if that common sanctum had been another land, for example, Scribble would have just screwed.
yeah, just immediately bins the Rule the World accidentally, and then can flashback through. Wait, does this deck have the ability to flashback through the Ashen Gate? Can it produce black? Yes, it has a blue black pain land.
What's through the Ashen Gate for, anyways?
It makes a artifact, which means you can proxy the Maker's Egg.
Right. What? Excuse me, Scribble? Oh, they're trying to corpse bet it. Yeah, that makes sense. But that still feels iffy because now you like Seek the Maker's Egg could mill into something.
Well, it's a solid play, actually.
Yeah, you don't lose too much off of doing this.
So alittleblank can trigger Seek next turn, and then if it mills something important, then now you suddenly get to do stuff.
Yeah, can Zealot into Calming Sanctuary, and Zealot does give you functionally another set of looks for what you want to mill.
Yeah.
So
there's a dread draw.
And they also
So
have
that's
Calming
actually-
Sanctum.
Is there a target in the top 6 cards of a little blank's
Well, no,
library?
it's top 9 because you can.
If a little blank plays both sanctums, Seek the Maker's Egg will fire with no targets.
Right, but Zealot first gets you 3 looks.
Well, there's polytheism. See, there we go.
Yeah,
It also threatens to put the
Scribble gets punished here.
Yeah, so let's play Calming Sanctum flips the cards before you choose what to mill
Yeah.
with Seek, right?
Correct. And Seek, you mill any of the libraries, but we're presumably going to see polytheism.
Unless Calming Sanctum gets something even better.
I don't think Rule the World is better than because otherwise, this way, if you mill off the Zealot, you immediately put polytheism to play, which is going to recur a Seek the Maker's Egg plus another.
Oh, does that
3
does that instantly trigger Seek again?
yes.
Because are they
Seek the Maker's Egg goes off with no targets, like I said.
Are they enchantments? No, it doesn't immediately proc it again.
Oh, they become in addition to the other types. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's just they become 4/4 god creatures. So it's only quote unquote putting 16/16 of indestructible stats into play.
Don't worry, Scribble has the past is gone. They can.
Nope. Seek the Maker's Egg is choosing to
What? Excuse me?
play. I mean, I guess you're just hoping your opponent. I mean, this stops your opponent from using the past as no. The past is gone doesn't target.
They can't. They don't have the mana to cast it because the non-basic still on
You
tap.
just walk them out, but like you don't have another thing, so your opponent can just eventually. I don't know. This feels like a line where you're saying I'm probably winning this in the long run, rather than just going for the kill.
Okay, so
and I feel like you should just jam.
So alittleblank can get Seek the Maker's Egg next turn by using Zealot, right?
Yes.
Or-
No, you can't get it quite.
It's 2 down.
Oh, well,
Okay.
With Calming Sanctum can get it. So can set up like another multiple turn line. But I think Scribble isn't going to scoop here. And I think it's going to be a slightly drawn out miserable experience over the course of the next like 2 or 3 turns.
So that's why alittleblank did that.
I think we are done here though.
No, alittleblank is just trying to make Scribble suffer after they lost, or after they got beaten in game 1.
Dear combo players, please put more than one victory condition in your deck. I'm begging you.
I mean, I guess does polytheism get blown out by more things than Rule the World?
Nope. Or if it does, I'm not seeing them.
Does
Rather, the issue here is once the polytheism is blown up, there is just Steward that can win the game.
But how's the polytheism? Oh, I see what you're saying. Once the pass is gone, hits polytheism.
Does Pass is Gone look in archived libraries too?
The
Extra
effect-
libraries get searched, don't they?
Okay, so you have to choose which library you're searching. Oh wait, no, it says libraries. Okay, no. Okay, I'm going to assume that it works and just not worry about it.
Aren't you the one who designed the card?
Yeah, I didn't put libraries in there. Why the fuck would I put libraries in there? Oh, because it's each. Since I want it to work in EDH, why did I want it to work in EDH? Look, sometimes you make decisions. That's all I can say.
Well, now we're gonna have to answer the judge call. So if those guys start asking, you're the judge.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I mean, you name polytheism here, right? And then ask or alittleblank or Scribble asks the judge first if naming polytheism hits extra libraries. Actually, Scribble's taking quite a while to name something. Maybe they're thinking.
Fully checking the rules.
Are they checking the rules right now? Oh, Scribbl's asking, right, because they're doing the spell pierce check.
Yeah.
Seek to make what? Not polytheism?
Oh my god. I mean, I guess it works, but now your opponent has the Chiara and can get around to casting the. Eh, okay. We're doing this, I guess.
And Lil Blank names Alley's Council for some reason. And I guess the players are just assuming that Passage Gone looks in every library. Is that how it
I think
works, Judge?
it says each of your opponent's graveyards, hands, and libraries. So it is plural, but I don't know if it's plural per player or not. But I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. There's no questions on the judge test about what happens when your opponent has multiple libraries, because that's not really a thing that comes up in canon.
This is why we need
Has
a
this ever
separate
happened before?
judge test for MSEM.
I have no recollection of this ever happening before.
I'm surprised nobody played Seal the Tomb when there was extra libraries out. I feel like that should be a common occurrence.
Seal the Tomb only searches one player's library, so it says library singular, so you only have to check one library.
Are you only allowed to check one library with Seal the Tomb?
Yeah.
Huh.
So that one's clear. The fact that this is plural makes it less clear. Okay, so I think a little blank's plan is now draw enough lands to hardcast polytheism.
What does Scribble even do now?
Try to turn creatures sideways 20 times. Slightly less because a little blank does 1 billion damage to themselves via land.
They're gonna get their 2 basics soon, I think. They can use Zealot and Calming Sanctum to get 2 basics.
Yeah, let's hope that that's the plan.
Actually, I don't think Scribble needs to turn creatures sideways 20 times. They just need to turn creatures sideways 16 times and then burn out the rest.
Rule the World gives hexproof.
Oh.
On the bright side, stewards won't kill you anymore.
True.
So this gets to go even slower.
Can't argue with that one, I suppose.
Actually, no, I think the reason Scribble named Seek the Maker's Egg is that Little Blank can't gain life. Because at least that gives Scribble some way of winning.
I don't. Yes.
Oh,
What just
Sorry.
happened? The Little Blank's now drawing basics off this Calming Sanctum because they're losing more life to their own lands than to Scribble's creatures.
You know,
this is true.
as one does.
I think Little Blank's just going to take it slow until they can stop losing life from their lands, because they have all the time in the world right now. Does Scribble have any way to blow up the Rule of the World?
No.
Nope.
Fact.
I'm surprised. They're in Jund. They should have a way to blow up stuff.
Scribble, I think, took a
Well,
very.
Urbeck does blow stuff up, just not big stuff.
Yeah, I think Scribble took a deck building philosophy of I only need to answer the low to the ground stuff, and I think that's kind of reasonable. But then sometimes you get got like this.
I think Little Blank's trying to hardcast Polytheism eventually.
Yes, I agree. That is the win condition.
Scribble can recast the Passage Gone if they get some good.
If they need to get enough lands to both put Jerrold into play and then put a 4-drop into play, right? Because Jerrold only casts less.
Wait, no, Jerrold doesn't do anything. Rule of the World is in play.
Oh my god, you're right. Okay, yeah. So I really think that Scribble should concede here for the sake of their own sanity, but we'll see.
If Scribble had 2 Passes Gones, then they could have got rid of Polytheism afterwards, and then we could have a game where that comes down to decking.
Which again, a little blank is default wins when the answer is decking because of Legend Weaving, but Scribble can just turn creature sideways to kill because Rule the World is still let them be 1/1s.
So Scribble has 2 basics out now, which means that they have 2 mana each turn at least. And Scribble's just getting all the basics out right now.
All this mana to cast. Wait, what? Huh?
Valdez 1/1 beatdown.
Puts a 19th turn clock on the opponent.
LFG.
Polytheism is 9 mana for some reason. Well, we're still 2 lands off hardcasting that thing.
Some of which are present in libraries.
Yeah, I kind of regret closing the revealed libraries when the Passage Gone was played, because now we can't talk about how they sideboarded while we wait for the game to be over.
You know, I regret a lot of things.
Like designing Rule the World?
Honestly, I think the card that has been played this game that I regret designing more was the Past is Gone.
No, I think it was extra libraries. You should always blame extra libraries.
Well, we can blame Hersey for that.
All right, so we are decided the issue is either Rule the World, extra libraries, or the Past is Gone. I think we should get rid of all of them and call it a day.
Yeah, let's just delete.
Okay, well, this turn a little blank gets Polytheism.
Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, they do.
In this one moment, I am so very glad that Scribble did not draw an Anapraxius maneuver and make us sit through alittleblank having to resolve a second polytheism. Okay, we're good. We're done. We're good.
It could have been funnier if like Scribble actually named the correct thing, because then they would actually have a chance.
Yeah, I think with Scribble there, in general, when you're playing these interactive decks, you see things very differently than how people in the commentary booth see things. I'm not certain why Scribble prioritized things that way, but I do think it's reasonable to have done that, even if it very much was not correct.
It was reasonable because it gets rid of the life gain, so like it makes the game go by faster.
And it also like you are removing your opponent's ability to do more cheaty stuff, I guess. Like they still could do Chiara, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to point to the reason why that made more sense. But seeing a little bit more sideboarding.
Yeah, so Pip, are you going to have a chat in a judge chat about how the past has gone interacts with extra libraries?
Good point. Thank you. Oh, the pass has gone is banned in MSEDH.
Wait, what? Why?
It just takes resolve. It's a useless code that takes forever to resolve. Can't argue with that one, honestly.
Sorry, why is it banned?
It's a pointless card that takes forever to resolve, especially on cockatrices. Because each player gets 3 cards taken out of their library, but their opponents need to think what would be in their library and guess those things. And there's also additional levels of like coordination of like, oh well, I'll name this thing and it'll hit this person, but only if you name this thing. And then also there's like collateral damage where if you name one combo card to get rid of one person's thing, it'll also hit the other players. So it's not a good card, and it just kind of immediately causes games to grind to a halt. So
Wouldn't this be so much easier if it just targeted one player?
I really wish I remembered why it doesn't target. I think the word. Oh, it's because it's very hard to get the wording to sound better. Since each player does it, both you and your opponent. But yeah, maybe we should just target.
Just target opponent. Even that opponent each choose a name.
Yeah, maybe that would be better.
But then what about the libraries part?
Okay, while we've been talking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean this is a great hand from alittleblank.
Is this also a great hand for turn 1's Corpse Bed?
No, that's correct because that allows you to cast a turn 2 Prying Inquiry. Alittleblank.
I wish they didn't get spell pierced.
And then if alittleblank hits a plains, can seek the Maker's Egg. Or wait, doesn't even need to hit. No, still needs a plains, but can seek the Maker's Egg, and then immediately cycle 2 through the Ashen Gates to proc it. So yeah. 1 point of interaction foiled so far. Lush Oasis. Interesting. Can Steward of Empire's Cradle get a white source in any capacity?
No.
Just every quest or saga. So this just says find seek the Maker's Egg. It does literally nothing else but seek the Maker's Egg.
Oh, Scribble's Masquerade right now. Do they start cycling Tally's Council?
That's not what Tally's Council does.
Do they start grinding with Tally's Council?
No. Maybe. I hope not, but maybe.
They have enough Tally's Councils. I think you can afford to ditch some of them. Okay,
I think there's a heads up play here that alittleblank. Well, no, drawing Spell Pierce means it's correct to just pass. But if you play Steward of Empire's Cradle, you fail to find. If you then hit a plains when you can, or white source in general, when you cast Seek the Maker's Egg and then cycle the first through the Ashen Gate, you now have Civilized, which means it immediately completes Seek the Maker's Egg, and in the process, also doubles the amount of milling and doubles the amount of recurring.
Right. It also gives a target for white player.
I don't think you care. I do think that Spell Pierce is a good reason, however.
Scribble bottoms duress.
And finds a land. See? Never punished. I feel like does Scribble have
no green sources though.
Council?
Oh, but that's a fetch land, never mind.
Yeah. So slams Bloodjade Prophet and
takes a lot of life off that.
I don't think you really care.
As we saw last game, it's not the life total that gets you, it's not wanting to sit through it.
It's the sudden stop at the end. Yep. Kind of what
that is every single Tally's Council in the game drawn so far.
Little Blank still doesn't have.
Now a little blank is mana screwed.
Don't worry, they also have a way to get out of the mana screw.
Yeah, Calming Sanctum is good. Great, even. I think you do pull the. I would
No
probably.
white sources though.
I would probably pull the Lush Oasis out of it. Just hit that land drop and continue to hold up Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
Because that way you can tag the past is gone.
Or actually, maybe grab Murmuring Falls so that Steward Ashen Gate becomes castable later on.
I think in most circumstances that shouldn't matter, but it's possible.
About to be logged out due to inactivity. Okay.
Okay. Walk me through it.
So yeah, they're holding up Spell Pierce, and
Yeah, still bites to Prying Inquiry, but if Scribbl gets greedy and tries to start casting these Tally's Councils, these piles and piles of Tally's Councils, then a little blank can shoot it. Excuse me.
ooh, they got greedy.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Punished.
I mean, this is the mana efficient play, I guess, but Prying Inquiry is also mana efficient because you can just like crack the treasure.
Get to seek the Maker's Egg that is currently hanging out in hand.
Yep. The Scribbl doesn't know that's there, right? Because the first hand attack spell got spell pierced.
It's a combo matchup.
And there's the white
Shock.
source.
Okay, so that casts the Seek the Maker's Egg.
And that casts through the Ashen Gate.
Punishment is imminent.
Wait, and because they grabbed the Murmuring Falls, they can actually.
Yeah. So, but Seek the Maker's Egg needs to mill into something good.
That's true.
So it's time to spin the wheel. Let's see if there's 3 good cards on top, or if there's any good cards in the top 3.
Oh wait, they're so close mana wise. No, they got this. Okay, so because you need that green source. Oh man, I was gonna say you can use Calming Sanctum to swap Polytheism out for the other through the Ashen Gate.
Right, they can do. So I guess Little Blank's just taking the time off, which
Okay,
is going to get punished.
This is thinking. Okay, this is smart. Asterisk, it gets punished by the past is gone. Because Seek the Steward of Empire's Krill means you can put a Seek the Maker's Egg on top of your library and hide it from discard, and then next turn go off.
I think he just jinxed us.
Well, I didn't need to. There's a Tally's Council in hand.
Right.
Cajun says all libraries per player, but also
oh my god,
he's not in the snap.
No, it's just the past is gone. Literally just got top decked.
Yeah, like if it was only a single library, then Little Blank can actually hide Seek the Maker's Egg with Calming Sanctum.
Doesn't have green mana. Can't do that.
Right.
Checkmate anyway.
So they still have a chance, right? They can still find Chiara.
Well, we first need to see if Scribbl chooses that line.
They will. I don't see why they wouldn't. How about Passage on into Prying Inquiry to really kick the opponent while they're down?
Seems decent. You could also Prying Inquiry first to technically hedge against your opponent having Spell Pierces, I guess.
Yeah. Or you can just like play out your other land so that you can hedge against your opponent having Spell Pierces by paying for it.
Or you can just, move on in life. Call it a day.
Okay.
Find something to do with your time.
Past is gone. Little Blank really regretting not slamming their Seek earlier.
All right, the heads up play is you leave your opponent with 1 Seek the Maker's Egg in the game somewhere to just keep the commentary lively.
No, that's a misplay because Steward can fetch to Seek the Maker's Egg, so you're just putting yourself at risk more than you need to.
Dang. Thanks for identifying the problem.
Okay, let's look at how they boarded, because we didn't do that last time. Oh wait, that's going to snag a bunch of Tally's Councils.
I mean, it takes you out of hand, which means Scribbl gets to draw 2 cards.
Okay, so yeah, let's look at how the players boarded. I don't remember what the pre-board looks like.
Boarded in the rot, boarded in the duress. I think there's at least one thing here that I'm surprised by, but I can't tell what. Spell Pierces came in, nothing else on the Polytheism side.
Okay, yeah. I think they boarded out some Chiaras, right? Did they have 4 Chiaras at base?
Nope.
Nope, okay.
Just 2. A little blank stack only runs 2 Chiaras.
Wait, did they board out the Legend Weavings?
It looks like we didn't board in Sophia's.
A Little Blank, I think, yeah, a Little Blank boarded out the Legend Weavings.
Huh. Okay, so that means that their win condition that we were discussing when it comes down to decking does not exist.
So yeah, Scribbl should have tried to go for that win con.
Well, there was still the Polytheism issue there.
Eventually.
And, the sheer agony of sitting through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Scribbl is back.
Triss crashed. I wonder why it crashed.
Polydex being opened, is that what you're saying? Or are you saying just out of sheer judgment for the existence that we are now living?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes more sense.
Lost all my windows. Did Scribbl have the deck list open in a separate window? Wait, Oh, now my cock just crashed.
Windows as in revealed stuff.
Oh, okay, now I just got disconnected from Cockatrice. That's
I
hilarious.
just wanted to see what's about to happen.
And now all my windows are closed too. So what just happened while I was gone?
Nothing.
Cool.
Test, I'm worried for us. I think we might be next.
To crash?
Yeah, because time's also crashed, it looks like.
Like, I mean, get disconnected, not crash.
Well, I'm closing these windows just to be safe. I've seen enough.
Wait, they're doing a judge call now? Pip, get on it.
We're still in the middle of resolving this, aren't we?
No, they're
Shit,
named.
not.
Wait, what just happened? What's a little blank asking about?
Little Blank is asking, so Scribble asked, am I allowed to ask what was in your hand before you redrew from the past is gone? And Little Blank is curious if they need to, like, do so.
Yeah, right, it's because Scribble crashed, so now the window isn't open anymore.
Yeah. Ish.
By the way, we can hear the keyboard in chat.
Yeah, I don't have any solution for that. I'm sorry.
That's gonna.
Other than not typing, which.
Yeah, well, I'll just try to cut it out in post if it screws up Jump Cutter. But yeah, so Scribble knows about the polytheism in hand and the three Ashen Gates, so I think they're pretty happy to pry inquiry right now. You know, we usually like pause recording during judge calls, but since you're the judge, we can't do that because you're actually actively part of the judge call.
It's very inconvenient. I'm sorry.
All right. So, anyways, was that solution part of the MTR?
No, because there's not really an MTR for that sort of thing.
Actually,
I'm doing that as an extension of the interface error policy that we've set up that basically sets precedent that, you know, if there is a bug that occurs or something similar that is outside of the player's control, we're going to do our best to restore the game state.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if you guys wrote some extra MTR stuff for Cockatrice, or an extension of the MTR for Cockatrice.
The only extra stuff we wrote in terms of MTR is the interface error policy.
Hold on. What about the mana policy?
That's true. I guess I forgot that existed.
Yeah.
The mana policy for people. So interface error is just if you do a whoopsie while trying to draw cards, we don't treat that as if you tried to draw extra cards in real life. And the mana policy is just you need to clearly state what mana you are producing in order to accommodate augmented, because
This
it's
week,
too hard to
Scribble's
represent.
asking to DM you.
Yes. Okay. I see.
Is it something you can tell us?
Yeah. As a spectator, can you confirm if I played a land this turn? Because Scribble lost the chat logs.
Ah,
Yes, and Scribble played the Lavator Fields this turn.
I guess losing the chat logs is also part of
Yeah.
interface error.
And the reason to do that privately is so your opponent doesn't know you have a land in hand. Your opponent instead thinks your hand is all gas all the time.
Does Scribble just not play a land this turn anyways?
Playing up to 6 gives you the potential to. Well, actually, no. You can do that next turn anyway. It's playing up to 7 that doesn't. Well, playing up to 7 lets you do a 3-drop and then prying inquiry and then clue. So it could matter potentially.
So sift through false leads lets you third Dune Steward again.
Sift through false leads is basically just another it's an archive like thing, but it also immediately proc seek the Maker's Egg because it's an enchantment and then it creates an artifact.
Also, it doesn't do. It's better than archive because it doesn't take forever to resolve on Cockatrice. Because the
So
order
true.
doesn't matter. Where to order to play things in though, because I feel like you might want to make use of Steward if you see something good off Sift.
There are no legal targets for Steward.
Wait, really? Can't they fetch Polytheism or something? Oh wait, it's not enchantments. It's just the special
Nope.
enchantments.
Subtyped enchantments.
Because it's an over the horizon design.
It's also like it's a 2-drop. If it was a 2-drop that tutored any enchantment to the top of your library, that would be insanely broken.
Hey, we almost had that in what's like emissary of the hamster thing. I forgot what it's called.
We actually used to have that. Well, we used to have a 3-mana 2/2 that did it to hand. But now it tutors to the top of the library. That's the one from.
For the record, the name of that card that you're talking about is Envoy of Divine Progress.
Right, Envoy of Divine Progress. Oh, right. You get to double the trigger from Sift, so now you have like.
My God, true. Oh.
Okay, so Urbex's gonna be huge.
Deck yourself. You should deck yourself now.
Well, 4 mana could actually very easily over the course of Okay, wait, no. Can only grab 2 cards out of Sift. Okay, so next turn can pull Wheat from Chaff out of Sift, and also can pull a Chiara, and then the following turn can bin the Polytheism and reanimate it via Chiara.
It's not going to happen because Sift is going to get blown up, but it could happen if Scribbl doesn't go for it.
I really feel like Scribbl naming Seek the Maker's Eggs instead of Polytheisms is creating a lot of problems that don't need to exist. Is creating outs that don't need to exist, is I guess the better way to put it.
They're just terrified of rule the world, I think.
Which is somewhat fair, but you don't die to rule the world.
You do. You die of boredom.
Wish you would.
I think the play here is to blow up the Sift and then play Valerie, or play Valerie and blow up the Sift.
6 one, half dozen the other. Definitely should do the Sift first, or blow up the Sift first. That way you play around your opponent having a Spell Pierce.
Doesn't Scribbl know what's in alittleblank's hand?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Knows
You know,
some of what's in the hand.
No, they know exactly what's in.
yeah,
Oh,
you
right. That was what got top decked.
drew the Sift. Okay. Yeah, but what if you're getting mementoed? Not like the mechanic, but like the movie.
Somehow Cockris is wrong because I'm pretty sure Scribbl still has the interface open. Yeah, maybe you forgot. Maybe you accidentally deleted the wrong card from the interface.
I'm sure that would be a very wild judge call.
Well, but then the solution is that it's just that Scribbl remembered stuff wrong.
But all of this is entirely irrelevant, to be clear. We're really just making things up to discuss because the game feels like almost a foregone conclusion at this point.
Because that's how combo decks with no backup plan are.
Yeah,
They do have a backup plan. It's just that it's
not a real backup.
It's the same plan, though. It's literally the same plan.
Chiara
It's just more functional
and
density
Seek are
for the
different
same
cards.
plan.
I really feel like it wouldn't be hard for this deck to include a backup plan. Like, there's definitely single card win con enchantments you could just shove in this deck.
Like what?
Just a single Seasons of War that you can tutor up with Legend Weaving if it comes to it. I don't know.
I feel like Season of War isn't a great example, but
I don't think that's the correct answer, but I'm just saying answers exist.
Or a
Yeah.
Monument of Queens.
Include a Monument of Queens. Find a quest, saga, or discovery that can win the game on its own, and then you can tutor it up with Steward. This deck would be a good tradition deck. You'd need to make the black splash work, but
tradition. Let me check what that card does.
Tradition's a discovery from Scriptures of Urshad. Its final mode lets you recast stuff from your grave.
Okay, so it's 4 mana. Discovery 1 and 2 is mill 2 cards gain 2 life, and then this discovered thing is during each of your turns you can cast something from your you may cast a permanent from your yard. Yeah, might do it. Double black's kind of tough though, so don't count on it. There you go, Steward.
Scribble's just trying to end the game. He wants out. I cannot blame him.
So
Valerie can recast the Void Flare on the following turn, so Scribble has lethal next turn.
so alittleblank can top deck Wait from Chaff into Chiara.
Yes.
Please let that
And then
happen.
Needs
And
to
then
draw
do what?
and the land. Needs also to draw the land. And also doesn't have an enchantment to sacrifice.
Ah, good point. They're gonna draw Lush Oasis. Alright, I mean, they need to start cracking clues now.
I guess they technically don't know that Valerie is in hand, so they might just think I have one more turn, and I might as well.
We have a lost connection to the game.
Maybe this is your
Yeah, that's your win con.
hotel Wi-Fi right now. No.
Yeah, so just make the game last forever so that Scribble eventually disconnects forever.
Ricky,
That
I
is a
think
win
that's
con.
close.
I mean, like, what happens if your opponent disconnects? Like, how's your modified MTR deal with that?
I mean, how disconnect? Like, are you saying they disconnect from life, or just like they disconnect?
Like their Wi-Fi,
temporarily?
their Wi-Fi goes down for a bit.
We try to do what we can to preserve the game state in terms of like taking pictures and stuff, and then we have you play it in the future.
I see.
And if there's no other time in the future, then we ask
By
times.
default.
We ask times to go to your house and kill you in real life. There's not other solutions.
Sorry, this is even funnier if you know what times looks like.
I don't, so I'm just gonna assume it's really funny.
It's a really nice smile.
I think out of the members of the MSEM Council, if I had to make a tier list of most capable of killing you, Time is actually pretty high up on the list.
I mean,
Just because like he used to do football, like he's built. Most of us are scrawny. I think you can have Lackey Bot kill you, though. I'm pretty sure that's something that Cajun could do. I think most likely to kill you, Times is near the bottom, though.
Good to know. Yeah. Good to know in the future in case I piss off Council again.
Yeah, I'm letting you know this before you try getting a new version of Dreamsight Well added to one of the bonus sheets, or another fucking pod effect.
Yeah. And look, Valerie wasn't even needed in the first place.
So true.
I think Scribble should pry Inquiry just to rub it in.
I think Scribble should actually prying inquiry himself to discard the Valerie.
That would also be a good choice.
To remove temptation, you know.
Or, you know, you can also Valerie and then cast 2 Void Flares to overkill your opponent.
No, doesn't have the red mana to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, let's just pry Inquiry their own Valerie so that they don't be tempted to mastery themselves.
All right, we're good.
Yay, the game's over.
Just a Wretched Beast about to break into top 8, push it back in.
Yeah.
So now Scribble joins the 3 of us in top 8 because we're all in top 8 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also in top 8.
Yeah, that's why I said we're all.
As
in the 3 of us.
Right.
Yeah, us 3 commentators.
Wait, then who's gonna commentate your game? Oh, you're playing Scribble, right?
A good question. Yeah. So not Scribble.
But yeah, so that was a game. That was fun. That was I think we got some good content out of that, despite what happened in the games.
Is it because of what happened in the games, though?
Yeah, we managed to do some rules discussion that would not have happened if this did not happen.
Yeah, well, see you on another match.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the top 8 games.
I'll be seeing you.